as a Philly fan, as an Eagles fan, this may be the most disturbing thing for me with this team. I saw this against the Chicago Bears. It was one of the things that stood out to me. Apparently, I'm not alone because Seth Joyner's making that same case. So I want to listen to what he says, talk about this, and I'm really curious what you all think because to me this is unacceptable in Philadelphia. And yeah, you let me know if we're overreacting and panicking. And just to be clear, I don't know why we have to say this nowadays, but we do. I don't agree with everything Seth Joyner says. I think he's been way off at times, but I think he knows football very well, and I think he's got a lot of good takes as well. So anyway, let's take a listen to this. This is Seth Joyner on the effort, on the fight of the Philadelphia Eagles.
If you're really detailed and you watch the film, they don't finish plays and they don't fight. They don't fight and try to take care of their guy like their life depends on it. Like I watched Landon Dickerson block a guy and let him go, and he let him go, and the guy goes and runs and make the
Yeah.
play. And I'm like, did you hear a whistle?
Yeah.
Did you hear a freaking
That's
whistle?
a really good point.
What are you doing stopping and letting the guy go? If it's your job to block him, you block him until you hear the second damn whistle.
I
But
can't
these
tell you
guys, they
how
block
often.
and they
Yeah.
stop.
Do you think
Yeah.
they're not a hungry dog this year, Seth? To use a 2017 to 2018 analogy, do you think they sat on their laurels, didn't fully prepare physically and mentally, and are not the hungry dog? To use a Rocky III analogy, before he refound it, do you think they lost the eye of the tiger?
I don't think you lose and you find it. Okay? If you want to talk about culture, and I always say that I'm not a big believer that there's some magic culture that you set in your locker room. Okay? Wins and losses defines your culture. When you're playing like crap and you're getting your ass kicked, well, guess what? The culture's pretty damn bad because you got some factions in the locker room that are talking in opposition instead of everybody talking in synchronicity. Okay? But when you're winning, everybody's synced up. Everything's in harmony.
Winning covers up a lot of stuff unless you're, I don't know, someone like AJ Brown. But here's the thing for me, and let me know if I'm wrong, because Philadelphia may be the most passionate fan base in sports, right? We look at the whole fan base. Eagles fan base, definitely the most passionate in the NFL, 100%. And so, yeah, that means sometimes we overreact to stuff. But I watched that game Friday and I saw a lot of this with Seth Joyner. And to be fair, and I pointed it out in other videos, I saw glimpses of it throughout the season, even when they were winning. But of course, winning covers up a lot of stuff, doesn't it? Winning covers up a lot of stuff. And this is Philly. And I'll give you a couple examples. I remember I was young, but this story stands out for me. Aaron Rowan was a center fielder for the Chicago White Sox at the time. Pretty big free agent signing for the Phillies. Comes over here, and I don't think it was the first game, but it was a very early game in the season, and it was at home. And he chases down a fly ball in dead center, and he runs full speed into the fence. And for whatever reason, there was a little piece that was actually not covered like it should have been with metal, and he just busted his nose wide open. He comes away from the fence, blood everywhere, all over his face. Instant fan favorite in Philly, right? Allen Iverson. Look, man, Allen had some issues. We all know that. There were some problems there and some off the court problems, but he always got full support in Philadelphia from the Philadelphia fans. Why? One, first of all, he embraced what the Philadelphia fandom meant in sports. He embraced what Philly meant as a sports town, right? He was 100% there, in sync with the fans, appreciated the fans, let them know that he appreciated the fans, never turned on the fans. And we all know what we got from Allen Iverson every time he stepped on the court, and that was 100%. And more if you want to use that cliche, even though I guess that's not really possible, but that's kind of thing we got from Allen Iverson. He was going to give you everything that he had while he was playing, and it's sad that that's kind of rare, and I would argue it's a lot rarer now than it was when Allen Iverson played. And that's why I bring this up, and that's why I want to talk about that because that may be the biggest no-no in Philadelphia. Other places they can get away with it. Other places their fans are just sort of laid back. It's entertainment. They show up sometimes, they don't, they're not very loud, they're not very rowdy. That's why Philly fans take up their stadiums. But in Philly, you're going to get run out of town if you are going to quit, if you aren't going to fight. And I was watching some tape, and I'm going to try and get to some of those videos because hey, we got a whole nother week till a game to look at and to talk about. But yeah, there's definitely a lack of effort from a bunch of these players. And we could start it with the coaches if you want, right? Seth talked about culture, and culture is winning and losing and all that, and it's kind of overrated. But I think coaches also set the tone because, in a way, in terms of culture, and what I mean by that is the accountability factor, that sort of thing, right? If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, the coach is going to hold you accountable. And that may mean benching somebody. And yeah, that may mean it might hurt the team in the short run. But if you don't have standards, that's the problem. Maybe forget culture. How about standards? You need to have standards. And there are standards in your preparation. There are standards in your effort. There are standards in your film work. There are standards in your playbook study. And if those aren't met, those players need to be held accountable. And I do not see Nick Sirianni as a coach that holds players accountable. Nick is a rah rah cheerleading type, not really qualified for this job. So he wants to keep all the players on his good side because that is all that he brings. If the players turn on Nick, he doesn't have coaching to fall back on. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. I think we just hit 830 subscribers, so we are taking over to that magic 1,000 that I'm excited about. Really appreciate all of you who are here. And yeah, man, I'll talk to you in the next video.